Alright, good boy. Hey you, welcome to my series of reviews for every single telco in Singapore. Since you've clicked on Circles.Life, let's take a deeper look at them right now. Quick refresher, Circles is the first virtual telco in Singapore, and they, alongside TPG/Simba, broke the three telcos oligopoly. Yeah, that's the one. We were strangled with stingy data plans at just 2 gigs per month, and prices were insane for how little value you get. But while they saved everyone from our insane data thirst for 2016 to 2022, which is 6 years, where are they now and what are they doing? Are they still worth your money? Here's an appetizer. The more I use Circles, the more I dislike some aspects of their service. If you already watched my other telco review videos, this is more of a recap. But if you're someone that wants to save money and switch to a SIM-only plan with a budget of between $15 to $30, here's what I'll cover. The phone I'm using to test is my Pixel 6a, and I'll cover porting experience, signing up, usability of 4G, and more from this table of data. I'm also adding timestamps into the video description as well, so you can take a look and scrub through to see which is more interesting to you. These videos take a lot of time and effort, so if you can help me out, you can donate to this channel via this PayNow QR code and subscribing. It really means a lot to me, so thank you. What isn't covered is my experience with 5G, eSIM, and roaming rates, as these are completely separate content. But if you're interested, do let me know in the comments down below, and I read every single comment, so let me know. If you already watched my other telco review videos, this is more of a recap. But if you're someone that wants to save money and switch to a SIM-only plan with a budget of between $15 to $30, here's what I'll cover. The phone I'm using to test is my Pixel 6a, and I'll cover porting experience, signing up, usability of 4G, and more from this table of data. I'm also adding timestamps into the video description as well, so you can take a look and scrub through to see which is more interesting to you. These videos take a lot of time and effort, so if you can help me out, you can donate to this channel via this PayNow QR code and subscribing. It really means a lot to me, so thank you. What isn't covered is my experience with 5G, eSIM, and roaming rates, as these are completely separate content. But if you're interested, do let me know in the comments down below, and I read every single comment, so let me know. Circles has both a mobile website and app on iOS and Android. While you can sign up on the website, you can't do that in the mobile app, which is annoying. Moreover, there's no option to autofill the sign up with SIM-Pass, which means you have to manually type everything in. Circles.Life does offer promos, which are port-ins only, and it offers $18 for 100 gig. But what irks me, what annoys me the most, is that it drops down to 20 gig after 3 months. Why? So in my infinite wisdom, I forgot to film this part, but basically Circles automatically assumes that you're porting in, and that's fine. Most people who are looking for SIM-only plans are usually looking for good deals, and this $18 is technically a good deal. If you port in successfully, then you get a $10 discount from $28 to $10. However, if you're not familiar with the porting process, and for whatever reason your port-in fails, right, if you charge $28 for the first month instead. This isn't an issue with Giga's $20 and Gomo's $25 plan, because even if, let's say, the port-in fails, like, you know that you're charged that amount rather than you have a bill shock of like extra $10, which is like from 18 plus 10 because port-in failed. Maybe it's not Circles.Life intent to monetize on customers' lack of knowledge, but I do think that this is something they should improve on. After all, everyone was burnt before with hidden fees and charges, so this can feel reminiscent of that, just like my childhood trauma that's been popping up at random times throughout my day. Yeah. So yeah, bad first impressions and aren't ideal if you want to develop a long and healthy relationship with a paying customer. Just take note, Circles. As for delivery and pickup, both are free, which is great. You can even choose to have same-day delivery, but of course you have to pay for it. Picking it up is as simple as putting in any postal code, and you identify the nearest pop station for you to pick up the SIM card. Since I'm not in a rush, I choose to have it delivered to my address. So I've received the SIM card, and delivery address details are on the other side, which is my house. But they've had instructions here, which I'm going to just plop it down and let you take a look. They sent a confirmation email that the SIM was delivered, which is great. And since with porting in, they followed up with further instructions that I should verify that it's from my previous telco and NRIC, that these two important information is correct. Once I've unboxed and inserted the SIM into my phone, here's my experience activating Circle. The entire process took about 4 minutes, which isn't too long, but it could have been much better, and I'll explain why very soon. After entering the verification code and NRIC, it proceeds to ask if I'm porting in or getting a new number. This is where it got annoying because I recalled that when I signed up on their website, it already asked whether I'm signing up new or porting in. So when it asked me for my details again, I got pissed. Very typical Singaporean complaint coming. Hello, to whoever is at Circles watching this video, who's designing this user interface? Have you used it before? Why are you asking for my details twice? I'm very happy that you've streamlined the process with the SingPass login thing, but what about people who don't want to use that or don't know how to? Shouldn't everything be done at the first sign up on your website? Doesn't your database already have my details from the first sign up? You already asked for it when I sign up on your website. Why am I doing it again for activation? Don't you have my existing order details tied to the SIM card you sent? Why are we doing this twice? Why? Okay, rant over. Once I've submitted the activation form, Circles confirmed that the activation was successful and they will begin porting in my phone number into their system with a date and time stipulated. And it did. My old SIM card was deactivated, so I switched to a new Circle SIM. Pro tip, restart your phone after the port in is complete. It helps to reset the phone's network settings, kind of like taking a detox cleanse in your toilet after last night's double McSpicy and large iced Milo value meal. As for payment details, Circles only allows debit and credit card payments, no gyro. They also mentioned that for the first month, charges are prorated, which is absolutely fine. For Circles, they bill everyone at the same time. But here's another problem. Since I was porting in, when do you think that Circles should start charging me? Should they start charging on the day that I port in or that I actually use a SIM card? I thought so, but they didn't. They started billing me the day I received the SIM card, not the day that the port in was complete. So I have to start paying from the day the SIM card arrived. Granted, it's 60 cents every day and it's not really a lot. But it's these little annoyances that erode the relationship with a potential customer who might want to stay for long periods of time. So far, it hasn't exactly been the most positive experience. Am I nitpicking though? To some of you, maybe not. Or maybe I am. To be fair, I'm not trying to be extra critical of them, I'm just trying to be fair. But like every superficial response about mental health on TikTok about trauma, it is what it is. Which brings me to my criticism on their 4G services. Truth be told, it's actually not that bad. Quick background, Circles is piggybacking M1's network and users are able to tap into all 3 4G bands, number 3, 7 and 8. If you want to know more about 4G in Singapore, I have a video coming out soon which I'll link in the video description. They also used to offer 5G, but for whatever reason it's no longer available. And while M1 does support voice over 4G and Wi-Fi calling, only the former works on my Pixel 6a. Wi-Fi calling is not an option for me, which may not be Circles.Life or M1's fault. IMDA has done a yearly and a much more extensive report on M1's coverage in Singapore, which you can look at, also linked below. But here's my experience living with this network for 2 weeks. Anecdotal, of course. While M1 is the one broadcasting the signal, it's hard to be sure they prioritize their own customers against Circles. Speed test is just a small indication of how fast something downloads, but most mobile apps like Instagram and TikTok throttle or optimize the bandwidth pretty well. So it's more important to focus on whether there's dead spots with no signals at all, or there is signal but my cat videos and lo-fi streams are not loading. I did collect multiple speed tests though, just to check in places like indoors and outdoors of Orchard Road, Ang Mo Kio Hub, Serangoon Next, underground train stations, and here's my experience using it so far. Everything everywhere actually felt usable with the exception of Muji at the basement of Orchard Ion. I was trying to post some stuff on Instagram, nothing went through. This is technically a dead spot that M1's femto sells, these little white boxes on the ceilings. They try to cover indoor spaces with 4G and 5G. And while I have criticism of M1's 4G signals, this is probably not the best place for it, as I'm focusing more on Circles and they're not synonymous, technically speaking lah. What I will say is that if you're underground on the Circle line, you might experience crappy speeds. Also, I've been reading a lot of negative reviews about them and I've seen their network and using, here are 3 theories on what I think might be happening. The first is that people are using their 4G at home rather than Wi-Fi. If you're lucky, your phone will get good 4G. That being said, if you're at home, I would advise that you use Wi-Fi. It is usually much more stable. Don't waste your money, just use Wi-Fi. The second is that Circles popping up means that other competitors also want that 4G money too lah. So MyRepublic, Changi Mobile, M1 itself, they're also using M1's network. it's highly possible that the 4G highway is getting too congested. The third theory, which I think is more likely, is that SIM-only plans, you tend to target customers who already have a working phone. They don't want a contract, they want something cheap. And that means that they might be using an older phone that doesn't support newer technologies. And these newer technologies can help to enhance your 4G experience, something that Circles and M1 has no control over. So if you're using an older phone, I think that it might be possible that the phone itself is causing the experience to be less than ideal. While my 2 weeks with Circles was kind of short, I didn't feel like the network itself was a bad experience. What needed improvement was the experience of signing up. A hard rethink on the reduction of data after 3 months with so many competitors, 12 or 13, unnecessarily asking for customers' details twice, and billing on the day I received the SIM card rather than after I port in. In this very crowded telco space where customers are trying to save money and prices are rising every day, should you consider Circles? They've had their work cut out for them, and frankly, I think they're stagnated and not caught up with their competitors in terms of price to value. But if you're already on M1's network, you're satisfied with their service and you want to pay less, Circles really isn't that bad. They're just fine, I guess. So if this independent review was helpful, you can donate to this channel via this PayNow QR code. Just scan using your banking app, DBS, UOB, whichever, and put in any amount that you feel right about. With more support from you, I can do better content, deliver high quality journalism right here in Singapore. Thanks for watching, and do subscribe to this channel. And if you want to know something, just ask me, leave a comment down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.